Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie and I've got the July flavor of the month from CNDD Dips. This is the Pink Diamonds bundle, and if you are a lover of pink, you're definitely going to need this one because it is sparkly and beautiful. It's a little bit smaller than the bundles that they've been having lately, but they do have two collections that are 50% off for the month of July because this happens to be their anniversary month. And in addition to using the flavor of the month, I'm going to be using some chrome as well. So I've got this chrome from iGel Beauty. I got a subscriber request to do chroming without using any gels. So we're going to do that in today's mani as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this mani, and I'll be using my CNDD Dips dip liquids, and this is going to be my normal dipping process. I'm not going to do anything new or different. So in case you don't want to see my normal dipping process, if you want to skip to the part where I just do the chrome without gel, I'll leave chapters down below so you don't have to watch this process or fast forward. So getting into the dipping process, I'm going to be starting with roses. So this Pink Diamonds bundle for the flavor of the month, it's 4 colors. 3 of them are mainline, 1 of them is newly created for this bundle. Roses is a mainline color, and I wanted to dip in because that's my preference, but the jars are so full I can't really dip into the jar. So I just went ahead and poured my jar into my Chaos Gem mold so that I could dip in easily without having to worry about spilling powder everywhere. So I've got my dip base. I'm applying a thin, even layer of that dip base to my entire nail. So roses is going to go on my index finger and my pinky, and this is the color I'm actually going to chrome over. So I'm going to chrome over my dip powder, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So I'm making sure that I'm cleaning up my cuticle area, that I don't have any excess product on my skin because that could cause lifting. And it did still look a little bit wet, so I just went ahead and dipped it again just to make sure all that dip base was being absorbed. And so next I'm going to move on to my pinky and do the same thing. So all in all, I do 2 full dips on my pinky and thumb. And then because everything I'm working with is a glitter, a shimmer, I'm going to go ahead and wait to cap everything in clear at the end and do it all together just to save a little bit of time. And if you notice my middle finger on my right hand, just ignore that, pretend you don't see it. I wear peel base, and so my tip popped off and I just didn't reapply a new one. And looking back at the video now, I probably should have put on a glove so you don't see that. And if you didn't notice it, now you probably will, so just ignore me. I do find that the CNDD Dips dip base is a little bit of a faster dry time, so I went ahead and dusted off the excess powder, and now I'm ready to get into my second layer. So I'm starting with my thin, even layer of dip base. I start with my brush about the middle point of my nail or a little bit higher. I brush downwards towards my free edge and then upwards towards my cuticle area. Sometimes in my first layer, I miss a little bit of the side walls, cuticle area. I want to make sure that I've got everything fully covered, so I take my time a little bit more with my second layer just to make sure that if there are any areas that I missed with my first layer, I'm covering it up with my second layer because I don't want to do more than 2 layers because I don't like my dip to be too thick. That's what I love about working with shimmers is they're not as thick as working with like a glitter because they're super fine. And so they're generally easier to work with. They don't create bulk as like a glitter would. And you still get that really great bling effect of the shimmers. And speaking of that, I still cannot get over the shimmer in roses. I can't believe I didn't have this in my collection before. So not only is it like super shimmery, I love like that silver white shimmer that's in it, but the base of it is like this pink with like a slight mauve undertone. So you can see it's not like completely pink. It does have like that slight purple undertone. And those are always my favorite types of pinks to use. I finished with my 2 dips of roses on both my index finger and pinky, so now I'm going to move on to my next color, which is Vanquish. So Vanquish is going to go on my middle finger only, and this is an ultra fine metallic silver glitter with tones of like a dusty purple, and it is just so gorgeous. It is so blingy. It kind of reminds me of like crushed diamonds. So this one is also an existing mainline color. I can't remember if I mentioned it before, but this bundle has 4 colors in it. 3 of them are existing mainline. I don't use the third one, which is Grace, but I do use the new color that was created for the bundle, and that's Pink Diamonds, and that's actually like a chunky glitter, which I'll be using next. But I did want to also mention that 3 of these colors from the bundle are existing mainline. I went ahead and capped all my nails in clear, activated and filed and buffed off camera. So here's how the mani's looking. So now we're going to get into the chrome, which is going to go on top of roses, which is on my index finger and pinky. So the chrome that I'm going to be using is from iGel Beauty. This is Candy Aurora Chrome AC1. This is one of my favorite chromes to use. I love it because it's not like a mirror chrome. It's just like this really beautiful, like light color on top of any color you put as your base. And this is like a really large pot of it because you'll see a little bit of chrome goes a really long way. So in order to apply the chrome, I do want to use an eyeshadow applicator, at least at first. I've done a little bit of testing with different methods of using chrome without any gels. What I found works best is using my Maniology sticky base coat. So I did like other non-gel top coats, things like that, but this is what I found works best. So I'm going to do one finger at a time. I'm going to apply an even layer of sticky base coat to my nail, and then I'm going to wait. So I don't want to apply the chrome when it's too wet. I want to wait until it starts getting to drying down, but not completely dry, so that it's just a little bit of tackiness. So I just want to show you like real time how long I'm waiting, and this will kind of give you an idea because it did take me a couple tries to figure out what's that right sweet spot to know that my chrome is ready to apply, or else I'm just going to rub around that base coat and make it all messy. So all in all, I ended up waiting, I think about like a minute and 15 seconds or so. I don't know. You'll see on my watch when it's done. It's not too long, but I do want to wait till it gets to that point. So you can kind of see it's getting like a little less shiny, a little dull. So I just want it to be just a little bit tacky, not fully dry, just a little bit tacky, a little dull looking. So I'm just going to kind of test it and touch it a little bit, see whether it's still too wet or if it's at that right tacky point. And sorry, I know you don't want to see this. It's literally watching paint dry, but I want you to see like real time how much time it takes. And in the grand scheme of things of doing your nails, like a little over 1 minute is no time at all. That's actually pretty quick. So I'm at that point, so this is good. So here's the time it took to do that. And so I'm gonna now take the eyeshadow applicator, and I don't want to start rubbing yet. So I'm gonna dip my eyeshadow applicator into the chrome, and I'm gonna start dabbing that in around my nail. So I just want to make sure like I've got a good enough an amount of chrome on my nail. I'm just dabbing that in, and then I will take my finger, because I'm not working with gels, and then I will start rubbing that in. So that's what I find works best for me. If you have a different process, I know I've seen other people do other ways, but I found this is what works best for me. And look at how beautiful that chrome is. I am obsessed. So I'm gonna let you watch my pinky without me talking, and then we will get into top coat. I dusted off the excess chrome powder, and now I need to protect it so the chrome doesn't peel or rub off. So I'm using my Maniology No Smudge top coat, which is an air dry top coat. But I'm not going to stop there because I personally prefer a dip top coat. If you don't want to use a dip top coat, you totally don't have to. This is just a matter of personal preference. So you could either stop at the smudge-free top coat and leave it as that, but I don't find it as shiny. So once it dries after that, you can apply a regular nail polish top coat. One of my favorites is the Essie top coat, and I also really love the Mooncat glossy top coat. Hollow Tacos is also a really good one. There's some really great polished top coats out there, but for me, I prefer my dip top coat. So I want the no smudge top coat to protect my chrome, and I'm kind of floating it on my nail because I don't want to displace that chrome. And I also have that lint-free wipe there to wipe my brush, so in case there's any excess chrome that gets on the brush, I'm not contaminating my whole bottle. And then once that top coat is fully dry, I'm going to go ahead and go in with one final layer of activator. So I'm starting with all my nails that don't have that on there first, just to give them a little extra time. And then once I get to those nails for the activator, I'm going to very carefully float and dab on that activator. I don't want to rub my brush through my nail because that could kind of disrupt that smudge-free top coat. So I want to be very careful with that. And then once that's on, I'm going to wait a full 2 minutes before I get into my dip top coat. I'm going in the same order that I applied my activator, and for my first layer of dip top coat, I'm applying it in 2 to 3 swipes on each nail. I'm being fairly quick with those swipes just in case there's any excess activator. I don't want to contaminate my brush and harden it. And then once I'm done with those 3 nails that don't have the smudge-free top coat, then I will go in and do the same with my chromed nails. And you'll see that the chrome is fine. The smudge-free top coat protected it from that activator. And then once I'm done with my 5th nail, I'll go in with my second and final layer of top coat. I want to make sure that my nail is fully covered, and I also want to make sure that I'm capping my free edge. As always, I'm going to finish off my mani by rehydrating my cuticles with my Scales of a Mermaid cuticle oil, and I'm still obsessed with Show Me Your Fishy Face. This was the July limited edition set, and you can see how much I've used of it so far, and I've had it for maybe a little less than a month or so, but I have been using it non-stop. I am completely obsessed with it. I need to like bathe in it, and I need it in like all the things, so I've been begging Pat to make it mainline because this is just that amazing. So that pretty much wraps up today's video, and I have to say, after I figured out how to chrome without gel, it was fairly easy, but it did take a lot of trial and error for me to figure out not only what products would work, but what's the right timing of using the products. But once I figured it out, it was fairly easy, as you kind of saw, well, hopefully you saw in this video how easy it actually was. And I feel like you can't really tell that I didn't use gel for this chrome. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So I'm glad I got this request because I'm glad I finally gave it a try. I've tried previously before with Sally Hansen's Miracle Gel, I think what it's called. It's like called Miracle Gel, but it's actually a air dry top coat. But I didn't have a lot easy time using it, so I found this a lot easier. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.